知らず知らず歩いてきた細く長いこの道振り返れば遥か遠くふるさとが見える
In the darkness and sadness, rain falls. People can be seen running and taking shelter in small buildings.
地図さえないそれもまた
A puff of smoke from a Koa-branded cigarette rises on the second floor of one of the buildings. The window is open, with two beautiful women gazing at the river with sharp eyes. Mayumi stands behind the window in a red dress with her long hair, while next to her is a short-haired Chinese woman who continuously exhales smoke from her mouth.
Weeks have passed, but spring has yet to come to bloom the cherry blossom in this land. The melancholic and cold atmosphere has lingered long, enveloping my small house. It's the place where I escape from my past. This melancholic atmosphere makes me sick of it.
Calm down, Mayumi. This isn't the first time for you. Look at yourself now. You've become the queen of this small house.
My trembling body, shaken by this air, makes me yearn for Daisuke and his breath. Yet, I hate it. I hate it because this body cannot forget what has happened to me over the years. I refuse to remember. I refuse.
Mayumi, this woman wasn't born and raised in this country. Her original name is Sri, a name easily remembered by anyone. Sri was born in a small village located to the east of Yogyakarta. At the age of not yet 17, Sri had to bear the heavy burden of the depravity of the man who came to her land. At the end of April 1942, 3 months after the Japanese army set foot in the Dutch East Indies, Sri received an offer to study in the land of the cherry blossoms. Her father returned home, running and screaming with a half-dead, panic-stricken face. Sri was too busy hanging clothes behind her house while singing. The Tonil group and the puppet shows that often performed in her village gave her knowledge about music. However, her father always got angry if Sri accidentally sang in public. He was so afraid of the soldiers. Today, what her father feared would come true. His beloved daughter would disappear from his sight from 1 week, 1 year, 1 decade, and forever. She lost to the desires of the Japanese soldiers. 3 Japanese soldiers had already arrived in front of their house. They bore information that there was an order to gather girls to be taken away to study in Tokyo and Sonanto or Singapore. Father, as the village head or kumicho, was asked to send his daughter, and unexpectedly, Sri seemed interested in the invitation.
Is that true? Can I really study for free? Can I return to Indonesia after completing my education?
The soldiers nodded and smiled at Sri. Now, father had to reluctantly let go of his only child. There were only two choices. He would die before Sri returned home, or Sri would die before successfully returning home. At precisely 9 a.m., the Japanese soldiers returned to their house using a medium-sized jeep. Sri stood at the front door wearing white shirt and skirt. Meanwhile, her father and mother buried their faces deeply.
Mom, Dad, I'm leaving now. I will come back as someone more useful, someone you can be proud of.
Sri then kissed her parents' hands and walked towards the car. Inside the car, Sri saw several other girls her age wearing similar clothes. Sri became even more convinced of her decision. After a few hours, they finally arrived at the outskirts of Surabaya. The girls only knew they would be taken through to the Tanjung Perak port. Not long after, they arrived at a house surrounded by tall trees and a high bamboo fence.
Sir, why did we stop here? Aren't we supposed to go to the port to board the ship to the other side?
One of the soldiers replied with a slightly raised voice. Sri fell silent. Her left hand was tightly gripped and pulled into the house. Sri became more puzzled. She saw many rooms partitioned off with boards. Inside, there was only a bed and sink. A middle-aged Oriental woman approached Sri and her friends. Beside her stood a brown-skinned girl, not much different from Sri.
Excuse me, is this a stopover for us?
The middle-aged woman, who was the dormitory head, responded to Sri's question in a language she didn't understand.
Yes, you will be here for a while.
Thank goodness, you can speak our language. Are you from Java?
No, I'm Lila from Cebu, Philippines. Please put your belonging down and write your name in the book on the table.
It turned out that the young girl was the dormitory head's assistant. But why was there a Filipino here?
Please, all of you, go to your rooms. One room for each person. And Sri, you go to your room, number 17.
For the first 2 days of Sri's stay there, nothing strange happened. Every morning, they did Taiso exercise together. But on the third day, Sri's dreams began to fade, slowly. The dormitory head called each woman one by one to enter the room for a health examination.
Friends, please line up over there. This afternoon, this place will have guests. If anyone has not been examined yet, please go to the doctor room immediately.
Sri was shocked. The doctor asked her to remove all her clothes and examine her vagina using a tool. The soldiers' vehicles arrived, and the sound of their shoes was as loud and noisy as the drums of the dead. The dormitory head then invited the soldiers to sit down, provided some bottles of sake, and gave them a ticket. The ticket was not a coupon for exchanging food, but it was a number for the soldiers to enter the girls' rooms. Like flies swarming around fresh meat, the soldiers entered the girls' room brutally. The night became the most heartbreaking and sorrowful of night.
No, please don't.
Sri was raped and treated roughly. All the teenage girls had their virginity forcibly taken by soldiers. Now Sri knew that the place was not a dormitory for prospective students, but a comfort station or ianjo. Not just one man. Sri served 3 men that night. Her vagina endlessly bleeding, Sri lay weakly on the bed. Lila accidentally saw Sri, and she ran into Sri's room and locked the door.
Sri? Sri, wake up.
Lila slapped Sri's face hard enough to wake her up.
You have to be strong, Sri. It's not easy to go through this like this. I've experienced it before, even worse.
It turns out Layla is also a comfort woman or ianfu. She was taken by the Japanese soldiers from an ianjo using a ship when the Japanese soldiers invaded the Dutch East Indies. They were forced to join. Sri's bleeding didn't stop for a week. Worse yet, she was still forced to work by the ianjo's head. Sri was the prima donna in this comfort station. In a day, she could be forced to serve up to 5 cruel soldiers, the worst of whom once threatened her with a samurai at her throat. Since that moment, Sri has been given the name Mayumi. Sri stayed at the comfort station for almost a year. Sometimes, when she got a day off, she used it to go to the market with Lila, just to see the outside world. Until one day, luck befell Sri. One gentle soldier came to her room.
Konnichiwa. Good afternoon.
Sri didn't answer. The soldier moved to the sink to wash his hands and face. His body was rather tall compared to most Indonesians. His mustache thin and his chin adorned with hair.
My name is Daisuke. What's your name?
Mayumi.
Daisuke pulled the chair and sat right in front of Sri. He told about himself, originating from Asami, Sudan. Initially, he was a teacher at a high school in Tokyo. Then he was assigned and sent to Taiwan before arriving in Java.
I remember that name. Tokyo.
Sri was quite surprised because it was her first time hearing such things from a soldier.
Sorry, my stomach isn't feeling well today. I just finished my period. Can we just chat?
Certainly, I just want a friend to talk to and relax here. I have no intention of having sex with you.
She's very lucky, considering she could have been forced to serve and become pregnant like some other girls who engage in sex during their fertile period. Many soldiers refuse to follow the rules by having sex without using condoms. In such a case, aborting the pregnancy was the only answer from Ianjo's side.
If necessary, I will stay silent in this room until dawn, so that no other soldiers enter here and disturb you.
You are very kind. Thank you.
Your hair looks nice, and your face also looks sweet. No wonder my friends are talking about you.
What are they saying?
They are talking about all the beauty in you.
Don't try to seduce me. I hate all Japanese men. They are all cheaters.
I apologize for that, but what I said earlier wasn't a joke.
Daisuke remembered his wife's face, a woman he dearly loved. She passed away last year while trying to save a Chinese comfort woman who was attempting suicide by throwing herself in front of the train.
Thank you so much for tonight. My name is Sri. Come back if you need someone to talk to.
L と書いたら Look at me
For 2 months, Daisuke came every week. They grew closer and trust each other. Sri even allowed Daisuke to sleep in her bed. And Lila, who had become close friends with Sri, realized there was an unusual relationship between them. Silently, Sri plans to escape from that small hell. She intends to seek Daisuke's help. Until one day, Sri tells him her plan.
Daisuke, please. I beg you.
But Sri, this is too risky.
I'll take that risk. It's the only way.
What if they catch you and hurt you out there?
I'd rather die than have to serve a man I don't like every day.
Daisuke didn't respond. He was afraid that something worse might happen to Sri.
Alright, but please promise me that you'll stay safe. I've lost too many people I love.
Daisuke secretly harbors feeling for Sri. And slowly, Sri touched Daisuke and hugs him from behind.
Stay calm. We will meet again if fate so desires. I promise.
Daisuke turned his body and hugged Sri tightly. He lowered his head and gently kissed Sri's forehead.
I'll take a soldiers guarding the front on the tour. When they are distracted, you can slip out and run toward the garden.
The sun has yet to show itself. The soldiers guarding the front door standing half-dozing, puffing on cigarettes. Casually, Daisuke approached and offers them a European cigar on his car. Sri quickly walks towards the door. As they busily light their cigars, Sri runs as fast as he can and enters the banana garden. Sri doesn't look back even for a moment. Sri keeps running and disappears into the darkness. On the third day of her escape, Sri has reached the port. But sadly, two Japanese soldiers passed and noticed Sri's beautiful face. They took Sri to the port's security post. Towards midnight, Sri was led to the dock, where she was taken aboard a large wooden ship. Several large vehicles arrived and unloaded countless people onto the same ship as Sri. After that, Sri stepped into the deck of the ship and stood there. She was half shocked to death. Hundreds of girls her age filled the ship, dressed neatly and all in white, just like when she left her parents' home. The teenagers were being taken by the ship to become convert women in Ianjo at East Timor. Another disaster struck as the ship departed the port about 10 miles away. Soldiers gathered on the deck and attacked the girls. Sri couldn't bear to witness what was happening in front of her. She closed her eyes and ears tightly. That night became another painful for Sri once again. About 5 hours had passed, their ship moving at a slow pace. Suddenly, there was a deafening roar from the sky. Flash of reddish yellow light appeared. The ship was under attack by Allied planes passing by. Sri ran to find a hiding place near the cabin. The ship exploded, its front part completely destroyed beyond recognition. The ship sank. Sri, who never knew how to swim, searched for a broken piece of wood from the ship to save herself. Sri was adrift in the ocean until the sunrise. Faintly, in the distance, a ship appeared, and Sri waved her hand.
Help! Help!
The ship stopped, and they threw a life vest to her. Once on board, she immediately lay down and breathed heavily, her eyes fixed on the sun, when suddenly a man's face appeared, covering it like an eclipse. The man was Tsuyoshi, a gunsaibu or government head in Surabaya.
I know this face. I remember you very well. 2 days ago, I received news that a soldier helped an ianfu escape from the main ianjo in Surabaya.
Now, Sri remembers the voice. Apparently, Tsuyoshi was the Japanese soldier who first came to her room. Sri is afraid that something bad will happen to Daisuke.
You will come with me. Take her to the back room. Let her clean herself up first.
Sri was brought into the ship, filled with rice and spices. Tsuyoshi entered his room and pulled Sri to the bed. Sri did not move. She could only cry. The deprived soldiers who came to the Dutch East Indies seemed to be a disaster for Sri. The ship's speed began to slow down. Sri, unable to sleep comfortably, she opened her eyes and saw a glimmer of light. Faint sounds of commotion could be heard. Sri had arrived at the port of Yokohama. Soldiers escorted her out to disembark the ship. Sri looked around, seeing many bright colored lights and signs she had never seen in the Dutch East Indies. Two jeep cars were waiting not far from the dock. Sri was dragged into one of them. Several tens of kilometers from the port, the cars stopped right below a railway. Surrounding it were many buildings resembling a wholesale district. They then brought Sri into a small house with a glass door at the front. She went up to the second floor of the building, with Tsuyoshi following closely behind.
Where am I? Whose house is this?
You'll find out soon enough. I'll be back here in a few days.
The soldiers locked the door and left Sri alone, her face expressing confusion. She didn't know what else to do besides waiting. Faintly, she heard the sound of her bedroom door opening. A middle-aged Japanese woman, around 60 years old, with striking makeup, entered her room. The old woman's name is Haruka. She was the head of the brothel in that place. Haruka asked her to work as a sex worker to serve business associates and important guests there, including Tsuyoshi, and promised to give money to Sri. Sri approached the window, craving fresh air from her lungs. Not far from her side, she saw glints of sunlight reflecting on the river. The leafless trees appeared black, and the air felt colder than in her hometown.
Oh God, what sin have I committed? Your servant, that if this is the obstacle I must endure, I feel exhausted. But if this will make me better, I will do my best. I hope father and mother are fine there. I hope everyone who has helped me so far is fine, including Daisuke.
Since then, her room's window has become Sri's favorite place to vent her emotions with her new friend, Ying. She was a comfort woman brought from China. It had been almost a year for Sri here. She grew into a woman who viewed the world cynically. Her facial expressions no longer radiate happiness. Sri became a firm woman full of vigilance in her life. Entering the beginning of 1945, there were no significant change for Sri. As for Sri, she no longer had any desires other than survival. Her pessimistic attitude had made her no longer want to return to her father's house. Furthermore, she would surely endure shame if she were returned to Indonesia, because people in her village would likely see her as a former Japanese woman. Life was so difficult and painful for ianfu like Sri. As early March approached, the city was increasingly showered with rain. That night, the wind blew fiercely. Sri quickly tried to close the door. She glanced outside. In the distance, a man was taking shelter. His face wasn't clear, it was too dark. Soon, a car passed by in front of the man, its headlights shining directly on his face. It turned out the man was Daisuke. Sri fell silent. She remembered his distinctive chin hair. Sri reopened the door and hurried out. Unfortunately, after a truck passed, Sri didn't see any more there. Sri made sure by walking a few steps around the area, but still found no one. Sri circled the area once more, and someone tapped her shoulder. She was startled when she turned around.
Excuse me, do you know someone named Mayumi?
A wide smile spread across Sri's face as Daisuke kissed her. Slowly, tears streamed down Daisuke's face. Sri hugged him tightly. They were engulfed in the rain of longing. Upon seeing Sri outside with another man, Haruka immediately called her in to come back inside.
Who is she? Why are you in a place like this?
I can tell you now. I have to go back.
Wait, can we meet again?
I can't promise. But if you really want to meet me again, wait for me by the Oka River. At sunrise, I will come.
Sri released Daisuke's hand, then walked while waving to Daisuke. Her face was radiant, as if compelling Daisuke to come to the Oka River and meet her again. Daisuke responded with a smile and waved back to Sri. At exactly 6 in the morning, the sun prepared itself to rise and warm the Oka River. Daisuke had been waiting by the riverbank since the last night, choosing to sacrifice his sleep rather than miss the chance to meet Sri. Glimmers of light reflect off the surface of the Oka River. In the distance, a slightly chubby woman approached. Sri had come to keep her promise.
You look very beautiful this morning.
I know. You're the first person to say that.
Daisuke smiled with his eyes closed. They stood right under the blossoming sakura tree. Sri and Daisuke walked hand in hand along the banks of the Oka River. They exchanged stories about what they had experienced since their last meeting at the Surabaya ianjo. Sometimes the stories end with laughter, but not infrequently with embrace.
Why don't you just leave this place?
I have no one else. I can't leave them.
Do you have me now? I will take you away from the place.
Aren't you afraid of them? The gangsters?
Yes, maybe I was afraid, but not anymore now. I'm more afraid of losing you than being killed by them. I love you, Suri.
I love you too, Daisuke.
Since that day, Sri and Daisuke planned to live and live together. They didn't want anyone to separate them anymore. They wanted to live happily together. Daisuke promised to take her to Kyushu and spend time together after he returned from the Philippines. Daisuke had to go back to his military duty. He said this would be the last time before he was discharged because of his old age. Sri, who never doubted Daisuke, shed tears and kissed Daisuke's thin lips. Waiting for Daisuke to return in a year for eternity was not a difficult thing for Sri. She felt very happy because she believed her dark and sad times would end. Nothing would separate them anymore. But not with death. Several weeks after Daisuke left for the Philippines, the sky over Yokohama was filled with smoke from American fighter planes. Several large planes dropped bombs right above the Oka River. Large explosions occurred. Everything was destroyed, including the bridal surround. Sri died in that incident. Her plan to grow old with Daisuke in Kyushu disappeared in the blast of the American army. Daisuke, who heard the news, was deeply devastated, and he couldn't bear the pain and heartache he felt. With all his anger, he ran fearlessly to the front lines of the battlefield and shot at any enemy soldiers he saw. Several enemy soldiers fell by his bullets, as did Daisuke, who died from an American soldier's bullet that pierced his head. Death separated them, but it was also death that managed to unite them elsewhere in eternal happiness and love.